Hey everyone, so today we are talking about Candy. This is my day to play with her. I thought when she first came out, I thought she was going to be like broken. I thought she was going to be the new Carmilla. I thought she was going to change the game. I have since realized that is incorrect. I do think she's cool. I do think Awakened, she's pretty good, like contextually, but she is nowhere near as broken as I thought she was. My understanding of it was that it was just the monsters on your field that mattered, like the elements wise, but it actually has to be every single monster in your team. And that includes like if you summon tokens or things like that. I'll talk about a scenario I wouldn't have thought of. But yeah, so my thought with her was that you could have like a fire front line and then transition into water, and then like have a Vixian type monster that can control the monsters on your field. So you kind of control what is on your battlefield, so you can use Candy in different ways. But that's not how it works. It has to be every monster in your team. So I made 3 different teams, one to kind of showcase each different type of attack that Candy has, and just trying to explore her, see how she works. I had a lot of fun with her. I thought she was super cool. And for starters, Dreamy Entrance and Death Revenge is great. That's an awesome combo of passives to have. And her, in the Awakened form, her secret skill, the Killer immunity, I think is also super cool, because she wouldn't have payback weakness or sleep weakness or stun weakness or whatever. But she's cool. So let's talk about her a little bit. The one that I'm using in these first 2 matches, Earthstorm, does a crazy amount of damage. I want to test this in buff monsters, because you saw that was doing 38,000 damage, which is a lot just for having your team be all Earth and Storm. And I love Link Earth. You guys probably know this with their 30k damage. I love Link Earth and Link Storm. So building a team like this was super fun. Also using Zeusworm, I think he's so cool. Earthstorm, the 50-second stun is kind of irrelevant when her moves cost 120 seconds. I think that's really what holds back her second form, is that the moves cost so many seconds for what they do. 120 to do a decent amount of damage, on a single target. I don't know. It's not the best. In her Awakened form, doing that with 68, I think, seconds at +9, and then if you accelerate that, even though Earthstorm would just be killing, I think that's enough to keep somebody stunned out of play forever, because it doesn't give temporary stun immunity either. So Earthstorm, I think, is probably her strongest, maybe. I don't know. They're all different. But yeah, the Earthstorm I found did a crazy amount of damage, and just, I don't know. I want to test it in buff monsters, because I do think she's super strong in that way. And combining that with, like I said, her 2 passives is pretty crazy. This next one, I went in with the Water and Fire for Pyrotide. This is the move that I thought was going to change the game, because I initially read it when I thought it was just the monsters on the battlefield. I also first read it as your seconds are reduced to 10 if you get a kill, rather than your seconds are reduced by 10. And so I thought it was basically a Flame Eater, but only could be used on anybody. It only mattered if you had only water or fire monsters on your battlefield currently. And so I thought that move was just insanely broken. What it actually is reduces your seconds by 10, not to 10. And so for a move that costs 120 seconds, that's not going to change much, for when she's awakened and accelerated. If you're doing a 50-second move, getting reduced by 10 seconds if you get a kill on a move that's gonna get a kill, that's pretty strong. But here you'll see, I get the kill, she goes down, instead of 120, it sends her back 107, or 110, or whatever it was. Which is, it's fine. You're doing killing every 10 seconds, maybe. It's not the strongest. It does, you'll see there, and I've been saying, it does do a lot of damage. So that's something to keep in mind. Certainly nothing to sneeze at. This was also my first time using Tricer Talon. Just threw him in the team because I actually didn't get him when he was first released, so it took me forever to get him until he came out in the most recent Balancyon trials, I think is what it was. But anyway, Candy. Pyrotide. I think Pyrotide has the most potential just because of how fast it can be and how quick it can go, especially considering like Link Water front lines are super prevalent, super strong, and Link Fire endgames are also really strong. So I think that one has a lot of potential here. So apparently Camouflage is not blocked, or Electrocute is blocked by Camouflage, but not blocked by Stealth, which is weird. You saw that did damage to my Glaceon, which I thought was weird and interesting in action. I never would have guessed before, but oh well. This was a close battle, an unfortunate battle. This was the only one I did with the Water and Fire team, just because, I don't know, I wasn't super feeling it, and this opening, like, I had my, I'm forgetting her name now, the one with Kinbreaker and Purifying Mist, 99 second speed, the one that's really good, Unicera. I had mine, but I went up against another one that happened to be awakened, so he was able to kill mine. Whatever. This one was close, you'll see. It doesn't really feature Candy, though, which is fine. But I do think she, as as a monster, is super cool and somebody I wish I had awakened to really test how powerful she is. Because I think on paper she does look like really strong, but I'm just not sure if she is actually that strong. This was close. There wasn't much I could do with the Voidress. Because Maneater is piercing. Oh, but he just went for the Bloodbath. So I need to kill the Tomb Guard. Or, I mean, either way, both people have Give Turn. So he can just Maneater with the piercing. If that Secret Destroyer had killed Voidress, I would have won this battle. So it was super close, but nothing you can do about it. Voidress is a strong mythic. Giving her Maneater was, like, game-changing. And Eclipse is super strong, too. But moving on, I did a Shadow and Holy team. This one, I forget what it's called, but she poisons them along with doing the big damage. So she can get around Hold Ground that way. Her issue is you can't really deal with shields. She doesn't have piercing. So trying to kill anybody that has a shield, obviously, is not going to work no matter what element move you're using. I guess Earthstorm is probably the best in that case because you can stun them and get another turn, like, to take off their shield. But also, like, you know, some monsters are stun immune, have stun protection, whatever. So I do think she's a little, I don't want to say unreliable, but like kind of a wild card. Because I guess my main critique with Candy is that you have to build an entire team around her, and when you're doing that, especially if she's awakened, she's going to come in and people are going to know that she's a threat, so she's going to be targeted. And so once you lose her, then you're just up to the rest of your team to pretty much try to clean up what the rest of your team couldn't. Also, interesting interaction I never thought about before. Haneri comes in there. I took out the Manta Samurai with the poison, but Haneri comes in, gives people temporary stun immunity because of her entrance, and then can use stun immune Punisher on them even if they're not actually stun immune. So that's actually a rare case where the stun change made a move stronger. In that regard, stun immune Punisher now has a lot more targets because people that weren't stun immune now can be by getting stunned. Anyway, Candy, because you have to build an entire team around her, she's a little unreliable. And like I was saying, people are just going to target her and kill her. Granted, the Sleep Entrance and Death Revenge are going to make that harder to do. People are going to want to do that less. They're not going to want to target her all the time necessarily because of her Death Revenge. And she could put a high priority target to sleep on entrance. But she's a little bit of a wild card, a little bit of an unpredictable type thing, because if you run up against a team that's all shields and like you're not necessarily prepared to deal with that, then she kind of just sits there, which is sort of the big issue I see with her. But I do think she's super cool, super fun to build around, because it sort of forces you to build only element teams, which I'm always a fan of anyway. So I had a lot of fun sort of playing around with her. I don't think she's going to be meta. I don't think she's going to be the next Carmilla, kind of like I was thinking originally. But I do think she's fun. I do think she's cool. She was a lot of fun to play with. I highly recommend it. If you have her, just go in and make a team, see what happens. This one came down to the end pretty easy. I was also using Aerolus. I was trying to make a video with her, but she's kind of weird to showcase. But her passive is pretty strong every time somebody enters that heal, like especially as monsters are getting tankier and harder to kill. Like not one-shotting something is pretty big to have Airless on the field because she's just going to keep healing people up. I also did like using Zulong in the front line with Tenebris next in line because Zulong's actually kind of fast. I think at like 60-ish seconds or something. Also there, unfortunately, the Death Revenge hits, or the Tenebris entrance hits after the Death Revenge because hypothetically you would think the Shiny Skeleviathan Death Revenge would hit and then Tenebris would enter, so that the like despairing entrance or whatever kills the Manta Samurai, but that's not how that works, unfortunately. You would think, but oh well. Here, White Titan can't do much, just goes for Solo Dream Hunt, just wasting some time. I think I was saving, oh, never mind. I was going to say I think I was saving my Element Accelerate till Candy gets on the field, but that was just wrong. Sweet Feather pulls Manta Samurai off Hold Ground. He could one-on-one, but too many of my people are still stealth from Tenebris and Zulong. So we'll see what he does. I don't even know if he has the secret skill on. But he'll probably just go for, I think he does a Zealous attack to take off the 2 stealths. Or he just takes forever. Let's see. Okay, Union attack. Kills the Regalian. Brings in my Tenebris, stealths everybody anyway. Grimoris comes in and sleeps the Ladai Faith again, which he kills with Dream Hunt. Candy comes in, puts Manta Samurai to sleep. And this is where I'm thinking, all right, time to do some work, you know. We're winding down. We want to showcase her. So I kill the Rune Dragon with a sneak attack. Shadow Light is going to take out the Grimoris there. You saw doing 27,000 damage, with the only requirement obviously being an entire team of 1 element. She also does suffer from being pretty squishy. Persephia goes down. He's got the Mojinator next in line, so he can wake up the Manta Samurai and missed everybody. Manta Samurai probably going to go for... He doesn't have Union, but he does have Bloodthirst, so kills the Candy. Which you saw there, again, Death Revenge hits Manta Samurai, Tenebris enters. So the Tenebris entrance, I guess, happens at the same time as whatever, like, Revenge is happening, which I think is silly. But Candy goes down there. We're just fighting to the end here. Revenar Keon taking some stealth off. I go for the Mojinator with the Blood Fury. Kill the Dualigazer. Mojicraft comes in. He could heal all to keep the Manta Samurai alive, but also purify. And he just gives up. So that is going to do it for this Candy video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As I said, I think she's super cool, super fun to build around. Don't think she's game-changing, but obviously a very strong monster. So if you have her, play around with her. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.